Hello, fellow deer hunters. This is Aaron from Autumn Chase Outdoors. Thank you for coming to the channel today. If you like our content, please like and subscribe below. Well, we got some rain today, finally. Just wanted to put together a video here real quick. Just want to talk about kind of what's going on here. It's September now. I believe today is September 7th. So we have about a week and a day. September 15 opens our urban deer hunting areas. Well, here in Indiana it's called the deer reduction zone, but mostly it's more commonly known as urban deer season. Kind of what you're going to notice is a huge shift here in these next couple weeks. Lots of people talk about it. They call it the whitetail shift. The annual whitetail transition, however you want to call it. But nevertheless, it does happen. I've experienced it over the past 20 years of hunting, and it's definitely something that is true. I think the easiest way to explain it is nothing more than it's the change of seasons. Of course, September 21st, we'll bring in fall, and we change from summer to fall. So what happens when we change from summer to fall? Well, first of all, you got to think about everything that has been growing, the growing season that is now pretty much done its full cycle. The trees are now all full of their fruits, whether they're apple trees, crab apple trees, hedge apple trees, acorns, hazelnuts, all that stuff. So they finally produced all their fruit for the season, and now they're getting ready to drop it for the fall and to be a good food source for the deer. So the crops are now all mature. The corn, the beans, if you've grown a garden, you pretty much got everything harvested. Of course, there's still some pumpkins and melons that are going to come in yet. Which brings me to an interesting point I might talk about a little bit later, is pumpkins, about how deer like pumpkins. But nevertheless, the changing of the seasons is when everything that has spent the spring and the summer growing is now going to die off. So one of the biggest things that causes a change or a transition or a shift in the whitetail world is food sources. So as things yellow and as things die out and as food sources change, there's also the weather change. From summer to fall, you're going to notice that temperatures are getting cooler, and as we're looking towards winter, obviously the whitetails are going to need to put on enough weight and fat so that they can make it through the winter. The other things are the hormonal changes. Obviously, the whitetails are now coming into their breeding season, so the bucks are going to want to create a pecking order, and they've gotten along all summer long, and now they're not going to start not getting along anymore, and now they're turning hard-horned as they shed their velvet. They're going to start to establish their rutting areas. Typically what I've noticed is when they transition to their rutting areas, bucks will seem to want to go into the deep thickets. They kind of take over those bedding areas. And they like to be secluded, especially the mature bucks. So as you're looking at your whitetail property this fall, and when you are out hunting, what I like to do is I like to take notes, whether it's mental or on an app. I use the HuntWise app. I like to use that and take notes as far as deer sightings, especially buck sightings, about where they're coming from, where they're going to. And I like to break it down into months. Obviously, the month of September is going to be different than the month of October. And then the month of November is going to be completely different because the rut will be in full swing. But I like to know, I try to break down as far as where these bucks are establishing their bedding areas or where they're coming from. And then I can use the topo map. And if I get to scout later in the year some of the thickets and find some rubs, kind of gives you a good idea as far as what are secluded areas on your property. And those are areas that you may want to target as far as making some changes if you're going to do some habitat improvements in the coming year, whether you want to do hinge cuts to direct certain routes towards food sources, especially how close and where your food sources are going to be in relation to that buck bedding. You don't want to plop a food plot right next to it and throw a bunch of does in there. You want to keep that a buck bedding area. So you got to keep that in mind as far as your depth of cover, and as far as where you're going to, how much room you're going to have and space for how many deer you want on your property. So those are all things that I'm going to be looking for here in the coming months. So we have all of our stands set. We've got our cameras all up and running. I had to adjust a few of them, which is always fun. Another tip for running cameras this time of the year, as we get closer to season, I try to time me entering the properties to grab cards, or if I have to make an adjustment or change batteries, I always try to time it around rain. So if I have a camera that ran out of batteries, or if I have a camera that's not quite adjusted right on the tree and it's taking pictures that aren't centered, or I'm not getting the type of pictures that I really want, or if I need to move a camera, I'll even wait a week or two until I get a chance to get in there right before a good solid rain. That way, if I'm going to reduce the amount of impact and human scent that I'm going to put in my property, because as we get closer to the season, obviously, I want those deer to feel as comfortable as they possibly can. Got some good bucks. I'm hoping to get some good video this fall. We're going to do some public land hunting here in Indiana. With the deer reduction zone, we can earn a buck if we shoot a doe, and after we shoot a doe, then we can hunt for a buck until January 31st. Regular archery season comes in October 1st, so that'll give us a chance at a second buck. My goal is to try to get a Pope and Young buck off public land this year in the month of October. Pretty specific goals for me. But we also have some state park reduction hunts. Hopefully we can get some of that on video as well. So I'm excited. I hope you guys continue to come back to the channel. I hope you like our content. Once again, if you do like our content, please like and subscribe below. See you next time. And gotta say hi to my cameraman. Camera girl, more like it. Say hi.
Hi.
It's my daughter Aubrey. Hopefully we can get her on video shooting a deer this year too. Kids get to hunt free the weekend of Thanksgiving here in Indiana. So excited to do some hunting?
Yeah.
Think you're gonna shoot a deer?
I don't know.
We gotta try shooting the crossbow first. We gotta try shooting the crossbow first, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.